Why is it never okay to defend myself? Is there any situation where it is acceptable? Also, what exactly do you mean when you say defend yourself? The truth about defending yourself in relationships. What defending yourself actually means. In the context of high-level psychological influence and the traffic light framework, defending yourself does not mean standing up for your values or your boundaries. Instead, it refers to emotional reaction through over-explaining, arguing, or trying to convince someone of your worth because you feel a loss of connection or fear a loss of interest. It is the act of using logic and words to try and force an emotional response from someone who is currently pulling away, such as if they are in a hard red light or blackout phase. For example, if she says, "I need space," and you respond with, "But I have been so good to you." "Why do you need space now? I do everything for us." That is defending yourself. You are trying to prove your value to change her mind, rather than accepting her current emotional state. Why it is often a mistake, the loss of attraction. The reason you are often told it is never okay to defend yourself is that, in the eyes of your partner, this behavior often manifests as desperation and lack of emotional stability. When you defend yourself during a hard red light or blackout phase, several negative things happen. First, you create pressure. By arguing your point, you force her to deal with your emotions rather than letting her feel her own. Second, you lose your mystery. Instead of being the calm, able person who respects space, you become the person who is chasing or pleading. Third, you signal insecurity. It signals that you do not trust your own value enough to let your actions speak for themselves. You feel you must explain why you matter. The biggest mistake people make is attempting to defend their way back into someone's heart when the person is actually in a state of withdrawal. You cannot argue someone into feeling attraction or connection. Attraction is a feeling, not a logical conclusion. When it is acceptable, the exception. However, it is acceptable to stand your ground and communicate your needs, but you must do so with dignity rather than desperation. There is a clear distinction between defending and communicating. It is acceptable to express yourself when there is genuine effort. If she reaches out with vulnerability, such as saying, "I miss talking to you," you can respond by expressing your feelings or needs without being heavy-handed. It is also acceptable if you are setting a boundary. If her behavior is consistently disrespectful, you aren't defending your worth, you are stating a standard. Finally, it is acceptable when the relationship is in the yellow or green light phase. When there is already enough emotional connection, expressing your feelings feels like sharing, not like chasing. Step guide, how to handle conflict without losing attraction. If you feel the urge to defend yourself because you feel a shift in the relationship, follow these steps to ensure you maintain your power and attraction. Step 1. Identify the phase. Ask yourself, is she pulling away or is she reaching out? Step 2. If she is pulling away, do not explain or argue. If you feel the urge to say, "But I have done this or that," stop immediately. Adopt a stance of calm acceptance. Say, "I understand," or "I respect that." Let your silence do the work of defending your value. Step 3. If she is making an effort, respond with warmth. If she expresses a need or a feeling, you can share your own perspective. Balance your words. You can say, "I feel that way too," or "I have been feeling that way lately," without making it the heavy emotional plea. Step 4. Let your actions lead. Instead of telling her why you are important, be someone who is important. Focus on your own life, your own growth, and your own purpose. Personal advice and golden rules. Personal advice: stop trying to win an argument to get a feeling. You cannot talk someone into feeling attracted to you. You can only create the conditions where they choose to feel it. If you feel the urge to defend yourself, stop talking and start being. A simple rule to remember: respond, don't react. A reaction is an emotional reflex, like defending or chasing. A response is a conscious, calm choice, like accepting or communicating. The key truth: your value is a fact, not a negotiation. If you have to explain your worth constantly, you stop being the prize and start being the person chasing it. The golden rule of attraction: silence is your strongest way to defend your worth. When you refuse to chase or argue when someone pulls away, you communicate a level of self-respect that words alone could never achieve. The formula for emotional power, high self-respect plus low reactivity, equals maximum attraction.